For a lot of students, the C1 Advanced writing exam can cause a lot of panic. It's one of the parts of the exams that's harder to practice at home.
What?
You can't just choose an answer and check it quickly to see if you got it right. You really have to think carefully. Each exercise takes longer and it can be really easy for us to avoid. What I want to do today is to do a C1 Advanced writing task with you so you can see how I, Izzy, a C1 Advanced English teacher, would approach this task so you can do it in a similar way. So let's start by having a look at one of these tasks, which is in my C1 Advanced Writing Guide. I'm just going to copy and paste it here. All right, I'm going to paste the task here into my Word document and let's do this together. So the first thing you always want to do when being faced with a C1 Advanced task is understand exactly what they're asking from you. So let me underline the most important words here. Your class has listened to a radio discussion about the advantages and disadvantages of receiving different types of presents. You've made the notes below. Types of present: luxuries, homemade items, and experiences. Write an essay for your tutor in 220 to 260 words discussing two of the types of present in your notes. You should explain which of these types of presents is best. Oh, we have a little mistake here. Let's get rid of this. Is best to receive and provide reasons to support your opinion. So the best present to receive and why. You may, if you wish, use the opinions expressed in the discussion. So these really are just here to kind of help give us some ideas, especially when we're feeling stuck. So the best presents are things you couldn't afford to buy. If someone spent time making a present for me, I don't need more things. Well, I personally feel more comfortable talking about homemade items and experiences. I find it easier to talk about these two topics. So these are the two things I'm going to talk about. So they're asking me which type of present is best to receive. All right, so let's start by creating a plan. I want my intro, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and then my conclusion. I'm going to be talking about luxuries. I want to choose 2 points that are quite contrasting and experiences. I could talk about homemade items and experiences, but they're both quite personal and I'd like more of a contrast to make it really clear why I'm choosing the one that I'm choosing. So the thing I have to do is choose which type of present is best to receive. So I want to talk about some of the advantages and maybe disadvantages of luxury items. So let's start with an advantage. They say here that you might not always be able to afford it yourself. The disadvantages. About something negative as well, because in my essay I really want to emphasize that I think experiences are the best gift. So I have to start making it clear from the very beginning why I don't necessarily think that luxury items are going to be the best. So I talked about a good thing, but I also want the examiners to know that I know they have their disadvantages as well. How about with experiences? Well, memories tend to stay with us forever. They leave a long lasting impact on us, right? So we've got the importance of memories. Quality time is what we all want. People don't have much time, so it's a valuable resource. These are just obviously very quick, very brief examples of the points I'm going to give. Well, although both are great, blah, 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 I want to make it clear that experiences are the best. What final point can I make to really close my essay? Although both are great, experiences introduction. I want some kind of opening statement to introduce the topic of gifts and maybe also hint at the importance of experiences as gifts. All right, so I'm going to jump into my essay now. I just want to make sure I know exactly what they're asking from me so I don't miss the important things. You should explain which type of present is best to receive. So let's begin. All right, let's put this in a different color so it's clear that this is the plan. In this day and age, our values no longer represent what they used to, which was the importance of family and spending time with loved ones, but has shifted to a capitalist and consumerist culture where buying items is a way to show our socioeconomic status to those around us. Our way of gifting demonstrates exactly this. So I've started with a generic statement on the times that we live in because I want to touch on the topics of luxury items and also experiences and talk about how maybe in the past experiences were a priority, but nowadays they're not that way. And I want to demonstrate that I don't agree with that, and I'm going to talk about why. So my first paragraph is on luxury items. How many words have I written here? Almost 60. Okay, so I'm on track. So let's start with a conjunction or a linking word of some kind. So firstly, okay, so I've basically expanded on the points that I have above. I've tried to include lots of linking words to make sure that my paragraphs flow very well. I've talked about an advantage, I've talked about a disadvantage, I've explained why, and now I'm going to go on to my next paragraph. So let me just copy and paste this here so I can see it nice and clearly. So on the other hand, so I talked about one point, I'm going to talk about a second point now, and I want to continue with the points that I was making before, which is that buying luxury items can be a risk because we don't know if people are going to like them. So on the other hand, where it was before, just so I can count my words. How are we doing so far? 226, so I've got about 30 something words left for my conclusion. So to conclude, 270. All right, I went 10 words over the word count, which is not ideal, but also not the end of the world. So if I'm proofreading this, I might look for maybe a phrase or a sentence that I can remove that's not very relevant. So let's have a look. In this day and age, our values no longer represent what they used to, which was the importance of family and spending time with loved ones, but has shifted to a capitalist and consumerist culture where buying items is the way to show our socioeconomic status to those around us. Okay, reading this now, this is quite a mouthful, and I think I can shorten this a little bit or divide it into 2 sentences. In this day and age, our values no longer represent what they used to. Actually, no, I like this sentence. And spending time with loved ones. This has now shifted to a capitalist and consumerist culture where buying items is the way to show our to show off. Let's simplify this a little bit. I don't have to make it too wordy. I want it to be really readable for the examiner. Firstly, luxury items are becoming more and more common as gifts. There's no denying that they have their positive points. Those positive points. One of the reasons people also love to receive these quality goods is because not everyone has the means to buy them. Let's get rid of this sentence here. It's not really necessary. It's not adding much to my essay. Luxury items are becoming more and more common as gifts. One of the reasons people also love to receive these quality goods is because not everyone has the means to buy them. I want to explain my point more. This in turn makes people feel valued. I've also contrasted some longer sentences with some shorter sentences, so not everything is a huge mouthful and difficult to read, like my conclusion, which I fixed a little bit. However, I've got another linking word, so everything is like a logical next step from the point before. A common issue with buying designer items is that we might not always know if people will like them or not. This poses a risk and an expensive one too. So they might not like it. As a result, it's a risk. Plus, it's expensive. I've also tried to justify my opinion. On the other hand, creating memories with people and spending time with those we love very rarely creates a bitter taste in one's mouth. I think I can change this for another phrase just to make it a little bit easier to understand. Also, this is one of the benefits of doing the computer-based exam, right? Is you can go back and edit your text more easily than if you're doing the paper-based one, and crossing things out can get a little bit messy. We love is very rarely problematic. Unlike physical gifts, the memories created from going on adventures stick with us in our hearts and minds for most of our lives. In addition, so I've got another linking word here, as the free time that people have is limited, going to dinner with a family member or going on a day trip with a friend is often more meaningful to us and more of a sacrifice for them. I don't know if this phrase here is really important. I might say more meaningful and heartwarming. I really want to show off my vocabulary. I don't want any unnecessary phrases. Saying that is a sacrifice, it could be interpreted as a negative thing instead of a positive thing, so I'm going to get rid of it. To conclude, although luxury goods might be more exciting to those who place huge importance on physical items, for most people, connection with others and quality time is more rewarding than something store-bought. So I'm saying, look, I've talked about both points. This is in fact one of the strategies that I teach in my C1 Advanced Writing Guide. Everything I've included here actually includes the strategies that I teach. So I want to show the examiner, hey, I've talked about both of these points. I've also talked about some of the negative points of one, and it's very clear from the beginning, right? Even in my introduction, which point I'm going to go for. I'm talking about the reason that I don't like store-bought gifts, that capitalism is a problem. So I started planting the seed of my opinion from the very beginning to really show some more subtle organizational patterns and make sure I get top organization marks in the exam. And I want to make my opinion crystal clear. This is why I believe that experiences are the best gift one can give. What they asked me here was to talk about which type of present is the best. I've said, hey, I've talked about this, and clearly experiences are the best. So there is no confusion about what my opinion is. I haven't included any irrelevant information, and I fully answered the question. Anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I know the writing exam can seem terrifying, and With a little bit of practice, things really start to get much easier. But the most important thing is you have to know exactly what the examiners are looking for. You should know how to structure your writings. You should know what tone to write them in, the key strategies that you should be using. And once you know what to do, it's honestly just a huge weight off your shoulders. I'll drop my resources here to explain things in a little bit more detail so you can stop panicking about your C1 advanced exam. And that's it for today. Oh, before I forget, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and also to subscribe if you like this video and would like some more help with your exam. It doesn't take huge effort on your part, and it really is a fantastic way to support me so I know which kinds of videos you like and which ones I should be avoiding in the future. Anyway, bye for now. Stay curious, stay learning.